Alright my friends, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew and today I want to do a review for the Thrustmaster TGT2 with the TLCM pedals, as well as the EVO racing rim, the new 32R racing rim that Thrustmaster launched about 6 months ago. Obviously the load cell pedals are about 2 years old, as is the Thrustmaster TGT2. All of these products, actually, I think the TCLM are like maybe four or 5 years old now, because I remember them coming out right after I just started sim racing. I bought the T3PA Pro pedals, and then the TCLM, the TLCM were coming out at around the same time as I jumped into it, and that was about a year to, well, no, that was in 2017. So yeah, dude, it's been a while. Well, 2018. 2019, 2020, no, I don't know. It's been a while. These pedals have been out for a while. The TGT2 is pretty new, but the wheel rim is probably the newest. So I've been here, I bought this about a week and a half ago, almost 2 weeks ago now. I've been playing around pretty much every day with the Thrustmaster TGT2. I've been doing some Gran Turismo. I've been playing with it on the PC. One thing that I want to let you guys know is when you buy a set of TCLM pedals, if you look through all the Thrustmaster stuff, it tells you to like hold the brake and the mode button, or the downshifter and the mode button for a couple seconds, and then it'll blink like once or it'll blink like 10 times to let you know that the TLCM are hooked up to it. Well, if you have the newest firmware that's out right now before you even buy the pedals, right when you plug them in, it's automatic now. It automatically will set it to the TLCM pedals. That's what it did for mine. I was sitting here last night. Somebody in the comment section had been like, "Oh, you got to make sure they're on the right thing." So I was playing around with that, and then I was reading a bunch of stuff, and mine were already set up. I was getting full brake, full throttle. If you don't have them set right, then they cut you down to like 70% or whatever out of each pedal. So good thing, I mean, there is a new firmware. I would make sure you update your firmware first, and then just go in there on the PC and check and see that you're getting your full brake, your full throttle. Because when I switch it to one, when it'll blink once or it'll blink 10 times. When I switch it to the blink once, it gives me, actually now it's like if I switch it to the 10 blinks, it gives me the 70%, which, so it's already hooked up in the memory of my Thrustmaster TGT2. So, all right, guys, let's be real about this for a minute, because you're probably looking at the TGT2 as like, oh my gosh, dude, it looks cool. It's an incredible, belt-driven wheel system. But then you also have Thrustmaster's T598 as well as the T818 if you're a PC gamer, that you're probably considering, and seeing as the TGT2 base literally sits in between the price range of both of those. Actually the whole setup for the TGT2 is the equivalent of just buying the T818 servo all by itself. So you're probably asking yourself, where do I go? What do I buy? And it's not really as easy of it's not really that easy. So let me go ahead and review the system overall first, and then I'll give you my updated thoughts on that. I'm trying to be a little bit direct or whatever, and I'll show you guys some video of some racing during this, so that you can understand. So the Thrustmaster TGT is the top of the line belt gear system that you can get. Like, this thing is absolutely incredible. It delivers more than enough force feedback. As I'm sitting here playing, Assetto Corsa Competizione, I'm feeling, I do have a Fanatec DD Pro, and I have had other direct drive wheels. And when I'm driving and I'm racing and I'm going around these tracks on the Assetto Corsa Competizione, I am still getting the overall like wheel bounce of how the wheel feels, even on a direct drive wheel. Obviously, a direct drive is going to feel more sharp, more direct, more one-to-one. Well, the TGT2 does a very good job, but this thing has got lots of sensors, lots of moving parts, all of that extra added stuff that really jacks up the price of what the TGT2 is. And that overall, like, it does get you pretty close to the way it feels on a direct drive wheel, and it is pretty dang good. But at the same time, like I'm saying, you've got a lot of moving parts, you've got a lot of stuff that, you know, later down the road, it's gonna need maintenance, it's gonna need service, it's gonna need all of these different things that, as long as you take care of it, I think you'll be fine. When it comes to, and it also has a transducer. Now the transducer is only literally enabled for Gran Turismo 7, like it's literally built into it and programmed. So if you're playing Gran Turismo 7 on this thing, it absolutely delivers what I would say is probably the best force feedback that I've felt for that game to date. So if Gran Turismo 7 is your game, absolutely I would easily recommend this. But at the same time, will Polyphony Digital continue to add support for the transducer on Gran Turismo 8, on Gran Turismo, you know, whatever other weird thing they come to when they decide to redesign a new game for the system? Will the transducer still be supported? That's the big question. Or are they gonna just kind of try to casually move you along over to direct drive? And that's the thing, guys. This is why sim racing can either be a major, like a money pit, or it can be the greatest thing ever. So if you look at like buying something like a Thrustmaster TGT2, that's like the commitment price. That's like, okay, I'm into sim racing. This is the wheel that you upgrade to from an entry level wheel. This is the wheel. And when you put this wheel and you stack it up against the other types of wheelbases out there, the direct drive motors, and now that Thrustmaster itself has decided to get into the overall direct drive market, where does that leave the TGT2? Is this wheel good enough to compete long term? If you're an older casual gamer and you just want something that is going to deliver an experience, like, yeah, the TGT2 is an incredible wheel setup. And when you hook this thing up to the TLCM pedals, as well as you get yourself the amazing, like this rim, I love it. I think it's absolutely incredible. When you get the EVO Racing rim, this thing is very premium, and it distributes that force feedback in such a way that just feels incredible. Absolutely incredible. And I'm like, wow, like Thrustmaster's like really stepped up its game when it comes to like the overall wheel rims and stuff. Like this feels super premium. Like I've got a Fanatec with a Club Sport 2 universal hub and the R330 rim, and I think they're both incredible. I think they're both like high quality crafted pieces of kit, and the overall experience that these types of products deliver on top of what they sell you just out of the gate. I mean, even the Gran Turismo rim that comes with the TGT2 is not bad. Like it is very premium, and it feels very premium. It's got nice tactile, you know, feeling in all the buttons, in all the encoders and everything else. So yeah, it's great. It's just smaller. I don't really care much for the smaller rims. I absolutely prefer a bigger rim for my sim racing. It just feels better. 32 millimeters is absolutely perfect for me, and that's what the EVO Racing rim delivers. Now, when you look at the when you pair a TGT2 with the TLCM pedals and this wheel rim, it's gonna run you about $1,500. Like it's up there. Like you're $250 for the pedals, you're $300 for the rim, you're $799 for the setup. So yeah, this is not like entry level pricing. This is like the top of the line, what you would get from Thrustmaster out of a belt driven wheel. Like it's just incredible. But then you got to ask yourself, support later down the road for this type of a wheel setup, will the developers continue to produce that for people, or is it just going to be like, okay, that's old technology, it's easier to just program for direct drive, we just program for that, and that's the biggest thing that I could see happening, is just the support for it as games continue to go. Anything released up to this point is perfect. And I know if you're like me, you're still playing those games for years to come. So do I think it's bad right now to buy into this? I do and I don't. I do and I don't. If you like that wheel feeling of a belt-driven wheel, then absolutely, man. If you're a Gran Turismo 7 player, absolutely. This is the best overall feeling that I've felt for Gran Turismo yet. But we still have the T598 that is absolutely still still getting programmed for, as we speak right now, by Polyphony Digital to take advantage of the new harmony and all of those other features that are supposed to be integrated into the new T598. So, oh man, I think I just bought this rim, and I do that a lot. I buy the products way too late in the life cycle, but at least for the pedals, absolutely, you can still easily use these long term. They're absolutely incredible. I've been having a blast with these, playing around with them. Like, they are insanely good. Now, the TGT2 definitely performs better on the PC than it does on the PS5, but you can get it pretty close to where it feels good. People used to tell me all the time, no, it feels just the same on the console. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Trust me. You get better overall settings over on the PC, man. Just trust me. You do. But yeah, other than that, I definitely think the quality of the build is great. I love the way this feels. It's got that nostalgic feeling to it that just feels good. I don't know. I mean, I don't necessarily. I mean, it's hard, man. Both belt driven and DD, they have such a distinct feeling to both of them that you just, I don't know, man. Like, I recommend that everybody try both, but a lot of people get radicalized. They start off on a lower end belt driven wheel or a Logitech, and then they go to direct drive. And it's the difference is so massive that it's just like, oh my gosh, it's mind blowing. Whereas if you go from a TGT2 to like a freaking direct drive wheel, like a Fanatec DD Pro, like it's not that huge of a gap. Like, obviously there are things that are better on DD, but then there are things that are just incredible on the belt driven wheel. It's so crazy, guys. Like, new technology coming out, old technology going out. It's a tough sell, man. Like, I don't know, man. Like, this is a tough one to try to convince somebody to buy like a belt driven wheel over a DD. That's not even possible, man. Like, DD feel incredible on the games that are already out right now. Like, the only wild card, honestly, guys, the only wild card is literally Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo 7 is really the only wild card to where it actually feels better to drive on this TGT2 than anything else. Now, the TGT2, like in EA Sports WRC, and all these other games that are just recently coming out, like, it feels incredible on those two. Like, it feels great. Definitely there's settings that you can get in there, play around with to make it feel even better and make it feel really close to a direct drive wheel. But you're just not going to get that like one-to-one steering that you get on a direct drive. That really could make or break the experience for you. So it's like, gosh, this is a tough one, man. But I do like the TGT2. If you're the kind of sim racer that has, you know, maybe you've got a setup in a separate room or something, and you just want to, you know, every once in a while get on there and feel that. Yeah, definitely buy this. If this is going to be like your main thing and like you're serious about sim racing and like going forward and playing the newer games, like I said, of course, at EVO and like some of this other stuff, I might kind of nudge you toward the direct drive ecosystem, just due to the fact that like the newer games are going to be highly optimized for these. They're going to be working in all this tactile feeling that you're getting from Logitech G True Force and, you know, Fanatec's DD Plus and now Thrustmaster's Harmony. So you're going to be getting these extra feelings on top of the overall force feedback that you're already getting. So yeah, I would kind of probably nudge you that way. But if you're just somebody that wants to experience the thrill of having like the best of the best, oldest technology, the best of the best outgoing technology, absolutely, man. Like, you definitely should try this. You should play around with this and have some fun. Like, this TGT2 is very cool. So, all right, guys, if you like this content, do not forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.